Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Ben DiNucci making his debut in the XFL. The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback is making a return to the spotlight as he has resurfaced on the Seattle Sea Dragons as their starting quarterback. Ben DiNucci certainly brings interest to the XFL as he once started a game on Sunday Night Football for the Cowboys. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. How will Ben DiNucci perform in the XFL? And what you guys need to know about Ben DiNucci is that he was a former 7th rounder in the 2020 NFL Draft. He was picked number 231. Unfortunately for Ben DiNucci, not everyone gets to turn out to be like Ryan Fitzpatrick or Brock Purdy. The reality is a lot of 7th rounders, they just simply don't cut it at the NFL level. Ben DiNucci, he was the 3rd stringer in his rookie year. He was expected to sit behind Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton, but unfortunately Dak Prescott got his legs shattered while Andy Dalton, he ended up getting hurt for a game, so that caused Ben DiNucci to come in. He actually played in 3 games in his rookie year, and let's just say when he did play in the NFL, it was rough because he only completed 53.4% of his passes. He didn't even throw for over 300 yards. He actually ended up with 219. He was not really much of a runner, and he lost 2 fumbles. The best compliment that I could give about Ben DiNucci during his time in the NFL was that, you know what, he didn't throw a single interception. So you have to give him props where credit is due. I guess you could say that. And since then, he's been competing to stay on the roster. And now he finally got cut by the Cowboys last offseason. And now he is in the XFL. So he's going to go ahead and get some experience playing football, albeit it's at a lower level. But Ben DiNucci, what you guys need to know about him is that he's a kid that can run around. He's got good throwing angles. He's kind of like a little bit like Patrick Mahomes without actually having the skills of being a good quarterback per se. But he's a kid that can sling it. He's got a lot of heart. He can get the ball to his playmakers. I mean, it's not like he was a bad quarterback in college. The only reason why he fell down was because he struggles to read defenses fast enough. And quite frankly, he's not big enough at the next level. But sometimes size don't matter. As long as you can read defenses and you can be accurate with the football, that's really all it takes. And Ben DiNucci is hoping that he can prove to do that in the XFL. He's on the Seattle Sea Dragons. They're a team that's expected to contend for the championship in the XFL. They're a title favorite. And it's not like he doesn't have weapons. I mean, he's got Brendan Knox. He's a solid running back from Marshall. He's a guy that can play. And their wide receiver is Josh Gordon. Anytime a receiver is named Josh Gordon, you know that team is going to be really good, assuming that Josh Gordon doesn't smoke weed and cost himself some games by getting himself suspended. But Josh Gordon, when he's on the field, he's actually been really good. He was once really good for the Cleveland Browns. I know it was almost 10 years ago, but he was a good player once upon a time. But now, let's see what Josh Gordon could do. But Josh Gordon is going to be a matchup nightmare for a lot of corners because no one has the NFL experience that Josh Gordon has. Josh Gordon might arguably be the best player in the XFL. He's probably the most notable name. So when you look at it from that perspective, Ben DiNucci is already set up in a very advantageous position to succeed just because of the fact that he already has a pretty good supporting cast around him. He's got a good running back and he's got a good receiver. Now look, this upcoming Sunday, they're going to be playing against the DC Defenders. And what I will say is that the Defenders, they seem to be a pretty good team themselves because they got Jordan Ta'amu at the quarterback position. But let's be honest, I think that the Seattle Sea Dragons are honestly a better team than the DC Defenders. They got a better quarterback, they got a better run game, they got a better defense, and they got the better receivers. They got more talent on their team. If Ben DiNucci can play up to the talent level of this team, there's no reason why I don't expect the Seattle Sea Dragons to be not in the national championship game for the XFL. Because when you look at the XFL, there's really not that much talent that's going on around them. And the XFL is kind of more of a developmental league. It's kind of more of an opportunity-based league. It's for guys that are undrafted or they struggled in the NFL previously to show out and play really well. And I think Ben DiNucci, he can go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity. Look, Ben DiNucci, he's going to lead the Seattle Sea Dragons to winning their North Division. Look, in their division, they got the DC Defenders, they got the St. Louis Battlehawks, they got the Seattle Sea Dragons. That's the team that Ben DiNucci is playing on, and they got the Vegas Vipers. I think the Sea Dragons are going to come out victorious in that division. They're honestly the better team out of all these 4, and they got the most amount of talent. And then in the South Division, I think the Arlington Renegades will win that division just because of the fact that they got Kyle Slaughter. Kyle Slaughter, he's an experienced quarterback at the developmental leagues, and he's always been good in there. The only reason why he doesn't make it to the NFL roster is because he's just simply too skinny. He's a little bit too much of a gadget player to really survive in the NFL. But in the minor leagues, he's going to be really good with that. And I think Ben DiNucci can be like that. I think Ben DiNucci, he's going to be the Patrick Mahomes of the XFL. And what I mean by that is that you may be able to see him make crazy throws across the field. He's going to make some weird arm angles, but he's going to make plays happen because he has a knack for being able to make plays happen. I see him and Josh Gordon connecting really well. I think Ben DiNucci and Josh Gordon, they're going to be a lethal combination in the XFL. I couldn't be more excited to see those two play. Those two are going to be a dangerous pairing, and I think that they're going to end up being in that championship game for the XFL. Do I think they're ultimately going to win it? No, I think the Arlington Renegades are going to win it. Kyle Slaughter, he's the best quarterback in the XFL. They've also got the best roster in there. By the way, shout out to Coach Folkerts in there. Why do I say Coach Folkerts? Because he's a D2 football coach. He's actually going to the same college that I'm at, so that's where he's coaching at. And he's an assistant coach in there, so I want to give a shout out to Coach Folkerts in there. He's an offensive lineman for the Arlington Renegades. He's a good player. He actually played for the Carolina Panthers for a handful of years. But anyways, back to the point involving Ben DiNucci. Look, Ben DiNucci, he struggled in the NFL because he couldn't read defenses. The good news is in the XFL, reading XFL defenses is going to be different from reading NFL defenses. And the speed of the game is going to slow down for Ben DiNucci, which is going to be a major, tremendous boost for his game because he really struggled to read defenses at the NFL level, but I don't think he's going to struggle to read defenses in the XFL. And also look at the coaching that he's going to get too. His head coach is Jim Haslett. Say what you want about Jim Haslett, but he's got a lot of experience with NFL football, so he could probably train him up a little bit. And the offensive coordinator is June Jones. Now, he's the same guy who was the head coach of the Houston Roughnecks in 2020. Why is that significant? Because PJ Walker was the quarterback in 2020, and he was balling out in the XFL. So I don't see any reason why Ben DiNucci can't ball out in the XFL as long as he listens to his coaches. If June Jones does what he's supposed to do, he's going to put Ben DiNucci in a position to succeed. I expect Ben DiNucci to do really well in there. I expect him to take his team to the championship game in the XFL. So that is why Ben DiNucci will definitely succeed in the XFL. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.